Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be playing with some Ohuhu markers. I received these as a Christmas gift and I have never used markers of any kind for art before, and I always wanted to try alcohol markers out. So the Ohuhu markers seem to be very affordable if it's something you are interested in trying out, rather than splurging and spending a lot on Copic markers. Just because I'm not sure if it's something I want to continue doing or invest in, I thought these would be great to start out with. So it came in this nice travel pack with a handle, which is perfect for storing the markers in. So inside we have all the colors, and it also comes with this plastic sheet so you can put it underneath your paper so there's no bleed through, because alcohol markers tend to bleed through a lot from what I've seen. It also comes with this little booklet. So they have a 48, 72, and 120 color set in this ring, and it'll show you all the colors included in each set. And then over here they show the 72 colors in this particular set, plus a colorless blender. It did come with 2 blank swatch cards, so I have already swatched these 2 out because I wanted to make sure all the markers were working before filming this video. And even though it came with swatch cards for you to fill out with the markers, I know it's always best to actually swatch them on the paper you will be using because they can react differently to the different paper. So here is a marker close up. It has a brush nib and a chisel nib. The caps do stick on the back, which is really nice, so that way you don't have to worry about losing any of the caps. They are labeled with the color and number associated on both ends, which is really handy. So no matter which way the marker's laying, you will always know what the color is. Along with the markers came an Ohuhu marker sketchbook because it was part of a bundle. And this sketchbook also came with a plastic sheet to put under the page, which is great because it's the exact size of this marker sketchbook rather than the one that came with the marker pad, because that one was more long and narrow. The paper is super smooth, which I know that works best with markers, and I know I don't have any kind of paper like that that's also smooth and thick enough, so I wanted to make sure to get a sketchbook as well. I don't expect to be using both sides of the paper, so I'm only probably going to be using the right side depending on how much there's bleed through. So let's get swatching out these markers. So I laid out the first half of the markers here and did a time lapse, and then I do the second group of markers. And with these markers, the tips are changeable, so you can pull them out and flip them around to reuse them in case one of them gets frayed or damaged. Another fact about these Ohuhu markers is that they are not refillable like Copics are, which is unfortunate. I found that some of the caps on the markers didn't exactly match the colors of the ink inside. It didn't happen often, but there was a few, and it was just a little weird. So you can't always trust the marker colors on the top, but for the most part the letters of the markers made sense, such as a YR would be a yellow reddish color. The numbers, I don't know if they mean anything or not, just because some of the numbers are higher and they're lighter in colors, so I don't know if the number really means anything or if it's just how they started labeling them. I also noticed something after filming the video, watching it back, was that there is a gray ring around the brush side of the mark. You are able to know which side has the brush tip based on the gray ring around the marker, which I thought was a little nifty to add. The company states that the name Ohuhu is actually inspired by the colorful Hawaiian island of Oahu, with bright blue skies, verdant rainforests, and kaleidoscope flowers. Next, I wanted to do a piece of artwork to test it out, but because I'm not familiar with using the markers at all, I wanted to just test it using a picture in the pamphlet they provided, which is of this little beach scene, probably inspired by their name Ohuhu and the Hawaiian Islands. So I was like, oh, this can't be too bad, right? Like, I looked at the sand and I was like, oh, I don't have that color in the markers. So I already had to figure out how to blend out the markers and get this sand color. And again, all of this is very new. So if you're looking at this and cringing, I'm sorry. I'm learning as I go. I honestly didn't even watch like many YouTube videos about markers, but that's something I plan on doing going forward. So I was honestly winging it this whole picture because I wanted to get this video done. I was like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. Like, I have the basic concept of blending, like using watercolors and stuff. I was just doing the best I could with the colors that were in there, and I'm glad I have the 72 color set because I think anything less, I wouldn't have enough color range to attempt blends, because I even found it a little hard to do it with certain parts of the picture. The main thing that really bothered me was the streaking, just because with paint, with watercolors and gouache, like, I know I can get rid of the streaking and smooth things out. When I was doing the swatches, there wasn't a lot of streaking. I was like, oh, this is gonna be, really smooth and stuff, but it was hard to get rid of it entirely. I did the best I could with doing layers. I noticed doing just one layer was definitely not enough, and you could see a lot of streaking with just one layer of markers. So as I added layers, the streakiness disappeared, but I think my main issue was the sky and the water. So the water in the picture is streaky, so I didn't mind it because it matched the picture, but the sky kind of bothered me, and I wasn't sure how to really fix it. I tried doing straight lines of cross, and then I tried swirling the brush around in circles, thinking that might help. I tried using the marker as quick as possible, thinking if it's drying too soon, it's not absorbing the next layer and would help it blend, but that didn't work either. So the streakiness is something that I want to definitely work on and look into how to minimize that as much as possible. I did kind of make the palm tree a little wonky. I wasn't watching how thick the trunk was getting, and then my leaves are placed a little awkwardly, so it doesn't look exact, but for my first time using these markers, I thought I did a pretty good job. I enjoyed using the markers more than I thought, just because they're so easy to work with. You just pull them out and unzip it, whereas with paint, you have to set up your water containers and your brushes and your towels to, sometimes it can be messy and watery. So I did like just being able to have the markers in their little pouch next to me and then just picking the color and putting it back. I felt like it made it really easy to sit down and create art. So now my goal is to watch some more YouTube tutorials and practice more in the sketchbook. So this is the final result of the picture that I copied. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I thought I did all right. And if you have any advice, tips, or suggestions, or videos you recommend, please link them and let me know in the comments below, because I'm still learning and definitely want to get better with using these markers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click that like button and subscribe. And next week, I'm bringing you guys another studio vlog. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!